If you are wondering what is a dynamic pose, this example would be a helpful explanation. When you're drawing a dynamic posture, it means you are capturing the movement of a person's body during activity. In fashion, we see a lot of dynamic poses from magazine photo shoots, and being able to draw such poses allows you to be crazier with your drawings and make your illustrations a little bit more interesting. This walking on the street pose is quite popular. It's like the catwalk pose, but the camera angle may vary, and it is more difficult to capture the limbs movements. Firstly, we need to mark an outline of the reference to understand the movement of the body. You can print it out and draw directly on the reference. It will be easier for you if you reduce the opacity before printing, or you can do it digitally. I always start with a straight vertical line going through the midpoint of the waistline. As I said before, the torso can be broken into two parts, from the shoulders to the waist and from the waist to the hips. So observe the directions of the upper part and the lower part to draw the center line from the front plane. Then mark the shoulder line, chest line, waistline, and hips line. From there, mark the front plane and the side plane of the body, and finally the directions of two legs. Follow the marking steps as you draw, and you'll have a simplified box of the torso. One thing to remember, do not draw the breast on the side plane, or it looks like this. Now you have no more space to draw the arm. The waist, as always, I draw it fairly small. Notice that the left half is smaller than the right half, since the model turns slightly to the left. And don't forget to draw the side plane of the waist. With this pose, you cannot see the groin leg from the front angle, since the right leg covers it now. Mark the directions of two legs. Because of perspective, the left leg is slightly shorter than the right one. So observe carefully to draw the length of each leg. I usually compare the spots of two angles. In the reference, as you see, the left angle is a bit higher than the right one, so I draw a line to guide. You can mark the left angle at the intersection point of this line and the line of the left leg you marked before. The same method applies to the arms. Measure the lengths following the basic proportions and finish the sketch. I think I drew her straight to be too long, so I'll fix it a bit. It's good to have a close look after you've done the drawing, so you can find out some mistakes and fix it later on. The second pose. This kind of pose can be usually seen in fashion magazines. Let's analyze this in detail. Start with a vertical line going through the midpoint of the waistline. From that point, observe and draw the direction of the center line. In this case, it looks pretty straight and slanting. Now form the outline of the torso. Shoulder lines, chest line, waistline, and hips line. With this posture, the model turns a lot into the right, so we can see a large part of the side plane, and the front plane is now fairly small. Continue to mark the directions of the legs and arms, based on the proportion of the basic pose to find the knees, ankles, elbows, and wrists. From there, draw the outline of the torso first. The angle may be different, but we can use the same method to draw. You can see that the right half of the torso is really small, while the other half is a lot bigger. The left leg is now covering the groin completely, so we have to observe and estimate where the right leg attaches to the body. After the legs, we can now finish the figure with the head and arms. We can see a large part of the left side plane, so the joint of the arm and the shoulder looks almost like a circle. The other shoulder is covered mostly by the body. The right leg doesn't look quite right, but I think it's not too bad, so I'll leave it there. The third example is the ballet pose. It's always difficult for me to capture the movement naturally and gracefully, but I still love it, and there's always a dreamy feeling behind those dances. Start with the vertical line going through the midpoint of the waistline. From that point, mark the directions of the upper and the lower parts of the torso. Then the shoulder line, chest line, waistline, and hips line. Two arms outstretching widely causes a part of the side plane to be visible from the front view. Other steps with the legs and arms remain the same. Now draw the figure based on the outline of the reference. The torso is not difficult, but the legs and arms are challenging to draw. The right leg, as you see, is not straight vertically, but slightly slanting to balance the body. It is really important to observe and outline where to place the knees, ankles, elbows, and wrists to make sure the pose looks natural. With the arms, two shoulders lift up a lot, so we can see the shoulder muscles clearly. Avoid drawing arms from the neck, it looks hilarious. Now finish the other hand, and you're done. Now pick any pose you like from Pinterest and start practicing. You may fall in love with the curves of human bodies. And after tons of failures, put some colors in, and you have a glamorous illustration.